Do we need a recap? Everyone was actually here last week. All right. Well, one of you give a recap then. Tell me what you remember, Madman. I'm not going to give you information that you've forgotten. This is where Madman gets confused, you mean? Um, get both of you give me an intelligence roll. This is called giving someone enough rope to hang themselves. Oh. McGee and Keegan, you two can roll as well, because if this discussion is being had around the on the road, you were both there at the time this event happened, so. Okay, Keegan, You remember from the previous conversation that McGee described the person who gave him the books and gave you and led you to someone who gave you that person's name, which led you to a tombstone. However, Eoden recognized the description of the face that McGee gave as being the same as one of the winged cultists that you fought. My microphone is like 3 feet from me, so it's not me. Mm-hmm. And then you ran into a fork in the road. Yes, literally. Mm-hmm. Yep, you're about to arrive in Gilcrest. Now, as you pull into Gilcrest, everyone give me a perception check. The two of you that are inside the wagon at disadvantage. I will tell you when it is. Okay, well, I mean, you got a 23 with disadvantage, so, I mean, it would have been a 23, actually, because that was the first roll anyway, with... yeah. Keegan... Okay, so ironically, the only one of you who really picks up on the fact that something is worth noticing is the elf that's hiding inside the wagon. Eoden, as you pull into town, on the surface everything seems to look fine, but looking through your familiar's eyes, as you're kind of scanning around and looking, you come to realize that there are a lot of people who are kind of going about their business, but doing a lot of looking over their shoulders. And a lot of them are also kind of taking time to glance towards the tavern. Almost like they're looking to see if something's happening. You know when people are trying to watch for something, but look like they're not trying to watch for something? Yeah. Yeah, you can only give it orders up to 100 feet, I think it is. Okay. You what over to the tavern? What is your familiar at the moment? An owl. Okay. He actually flies over and lands on the sign outside of the tavern, and is kind of listening and watching. And after a few moments, there's no commotion. At least nothing obvious. If anything, you would expect a tavern to be louder than it is. Let me just have a look at the tavern. There are there are people out and about, but Keegan didn't really pick up on anything out of the ordinary. There are people out and about, seemingly going about their business. Um, yes, traveler. Well, I mean, it's not been the best of harvests, so prices are up a bit. I don't know about a shortage. Well, you're probably going to be looking at well, um, the tavern just here, or a bit further down the road at the main market. Yep. And he kind of he stops again. A gnome. Um, Short guys, right? I saw a couple gnomes a few weeks back, I guess, but um, didn't really speak to them or nothing. To the tavern when I saw him. Have a good day. All right. Before we do that, because Eodin was sending his familiar ahead, I'll say that he got this look while you were having that conversation. Hmm? They just like making noise. No. Apologies for this. Aodin is there. Alright, so I'm going to give Aodin a look into the tavern. Don't know what they're carrying on about. Don't know what they're carrying on about. Alright. So, let's see if I can get this right. Alright, Seeker, you should now be on a separate map from the rest of the group. Alright, and you can see ahead of you, I'm assuming, the two windows of the tavern. It is, yes. Will you two shut up? Heard what? Give me a perception check with advantage. I think owls normally only get advantage at night, don't they? Okay. Yes, that does appear to be a tiefling sitting in the tavern. Madman, roll me a d20. You go to prime your weapon and realize this display is completely blank. Not responding at all. No one is hearing him. Forever. It's an enclosed cart, and you have been stacked in with boxes. No. Yup. Yeah. Think of like a gypsy cart. But then you've gone into it, and then boxes have been stacked between you and the door to hide you. No, you don't. You don't actually hear static. Yeah, he's talking. Yeah. All right. Okay. The display doesn't even light up. You're at the. What is what? That, from what you can tell, looks to be going into some kind of like a barn or um, like a stables at the side of the tavern. Yes. Yeah. All right. The two of you step inside. And immediately, you see to your left one table shared by a pair of what look to be humans. One of them short and rotund, the other one very slim and bald. At the table next to them on his own, you see what is very clearly a tiefling who looks to be about halfway through a bottle of what appears to be a very strong alcohol, from the fact that you can smell it from here. At the bar, you see a very stout-looking human and a person who seems to be encased completely in black armor. At another table on his own, you see someone who looks very, very out of place here, in that he is wearing what appears to be very high-tech armor of some kind. He does actually have his mask off at the moment, and hanging, it kind of separates and then hangs across his chest while he's actually sat drinking. But certainly looking out of place. And then behind the bar, you see a human bartender. Alexa, office on. Okay. The large human, as you sit down next to him, just kind of glances over and goes, and then just turns and goes back to his drink. Certainly. What are you having? I've got some. Well, no, you won't want the elven spirits, will you? Right. Okay. This is a. Which table are you? Oh, okay. McGee. Yeah, I didn't realize he'd sat down. Yeah. You want something strong? I've got just the thing for you. Fairly recent to the area, but we've got some guys from the south that have started brewing up some of this stuff. They call it, they call it Royal Rot Gut for you. So it's not dwarven, but it should do you. And he starts to pour you 2 glasses of what appears to be a luminescent blue liquid. He is not. Excuse me, he is not. Give me a perception just to see how good of a look you get at him, and compare it. He does not look like the same person that was described. Yep. Yeah, he's kind of just sat, hunched over the table, drinking heavily. And, yeah, the barkeep takes the coin, gives you your alcohol. Well, I don't know the name, but we did have a gnome come through here about 3, maybe 4 weeks ago, something like that. Looking to hire somebody to take him closer to the to the royals and that, but I'm not sure if they did. Well, he was in here asking, and then he stopped coming in, so I assume somebody did, but I'm afraid I don't know much more about it than that, really. Well, I'm always looking to purchase, if you've got quality stuff. You Amy in the kitchen would love that. How much have you got? I mean, what have you got? Yeah, that type of thing. Yeah. Certainly, certainly. Yeah. I mean, I certainly would. Doc, just remind me out of character. How much did you pay per barrel for that, or did we discuss it? Right. Okay. Got it. Yeah. I couldn't remember if we discussed a barrel price or not. All right. Yeah, I mean, he'll head out. He'll walk out with you to check out this stuff. He does shout over into the kitchen, and you do see a younger woman step out who looks to bear a resemblance to him. If you had to guess, you'd probably say a daughter. And he basically asks her to watch the bar while he checks this out. Yeah, I found almost everyone else whenever I was redoing things, but I didn't manage to find that one, so it will do. Yeah. Yeah, he takes a couple minutes. He looks through some of it. It's good stuff. Um, are you, are you still having this conversation while they're looking through the? Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. He looks through everything, and he actually offers you 700 for the lot. I certainly can. That's why I'm offering you. But times are tight here as well. I can only sell it for so much, and I've still got to make a profit. Could you do 725? All right, we've got a deal then. I'll go get your money, and we can get this unloaded into the barn. And he heads back in to get your money. Well, the door is only on the back. Yeah. There's people in the streets. In the tavern? Um, and the wagon is and the wagon is still half loaded, and the guy is about to come back out to finish unloading. Okay. Um, with your look through the familiar's eyes, the tiefling is still drinking heavily. The two men that are sharing a table seem to be having some kind of a quiet argument. Um, the two men at the bar seem to be drinking. One of them, the man not in the black armor, but the other large man, seems to be hitting on the tavern keep's daughter. And then the other guy that looks very out of place seems to be sat kind of almost nursing his drink. Not really drinking heavily, but just kind of slowly drinking. Yeah. No, it's not. Has he cut out for anyone else? Hello? I can't hear anyone all of a sudden. Hmm. That's the answer. Doc, you're stupid. That was the entire argument. In prostitution sounds better. Okay. Okay. Oh, actually, before he gets in there, McGee, give me a Constitution save. Yeah, if you downed that drink before you went out, you should make one as well. When you call something royal rotgut, and it's glowing blue. It is this stuff is intense, and you do feel it burn. Um, yeah. Not only that, but after you drank it, it's almost like the fact that you drank this glowing blue stuff, and it's almost like you almost get the impression that that blue light is kind of tinting your eyes a little bit. The room just seems a little bit bluer now. Well, the dwarf has left. He's not with you. Yeah. It's pencil on a folded bar napkin. Of course, of course. She brings you one. She brings you a pitcher of water, actually, for 5 silver. And yes, she brings you a glass with the pitcher, yes. There's no seats over there. You can stand at the bar over there. About this time, about as you're saying that, you hear a voice, McGee, from off to your left saying, "Do you two ever shut up?" Yep, he's come back out and he's paid you, and he's moving it into the barn area. Like he would have noticed an owl. If he did notice, would it be like, oh look, there's an owl? Okay. Yes. None of the 20 people walking through the streets will notice the paladin crouching in the bushes. Okay. About this time, About this time, as you're heading off down the street after storming out, Keegan, do you head back up to the bar? Right. The waitress is there asking if you would like anything. Oh, yeah. I keep telling Dad to tell people that happens. It that rot gut. No one's quite sure why it does what it does yet. Um, they're they're fermenting it out of some crops that got kind of caught up in the royal whatever it is, and all the crops, all the wheat started glowing, so they made it into this stuff, and it usually goes away in a couple hours. I don't think we've sold any of it by the bottle any before. Um, just a second. Let me just check on that. And you see her kind of stick her head into the kitchen, and then she actually disappears out for a moment. She comes back in a couple minutes later, and she comes back over to you and she says, um, "Well, we've got 3 bottles at the moment, and I've been told I can sell you one for 35 gold." And she hands you a probably about 1.5 liter bottle of glowing blue liquid. Um, you're detecting magic on the bottle. Yeah, you're using royal vision. Um, the bottle glows. Both of the men at the bar glow. The tiefling glows. The 2 men at the table glow. Um, the guy in the strange-looking technological armor, something in his coat pocket glows. Um, there are very few things in this tavern that don't seem to glow, at least a little bit. A lot of it is just kind of background exposure, from what you can see. Magic just seems to be clinging to this place. Um, the bottle seems to be typeless, but it's a lot more concentrated than the rest of the place. With the others, it's various different auras that you'd have to spend a bit more time kind of zoning in on to kind of get more of a feel. Yeah, you just got a general kind of feel for the place at the moment. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. He kind of glances up from his bottle, which is now, you notice, nearly empty. He's drank nearly half a bottle in the time that you guys have been having these discussions. You can buy the bottle. I don't know about no talking.